Adnan crept through the abandoned Victorian mansion, his flashlight cutting through the dusty darkness. The real estate listing had been clear. The property had been vacant for decades. Perfect for his urban exploration hobby. The floorboards creaked under his boots as he navigated around covered furniture and cobwebs that seemed to shimmer strangely in his light. He was documenting the ornate ceiling moldings with his camera when the front door slammed shut behind him. The sound echoed through the empty halls like a gunshot. "Great," he muttered, trying the handle. Locked solid. The windows, too, somehow sealed from the inside despite showing no visible mechanism. His phone showed no signal, which wasn't unusual in these old places with their thick walls. That's when he heard it, a soft padding of footsteps upstairs. Adnan froze. The footsteps were too light to be human, yet too deliberate to be random settling. They moved with purpose, circling the floor above him in a predatory pattern. "Hello?" he called out, immediately feeling foolish. Urban explorer's first rule? Never announce your presence. The footsteps stopped. Then, drifting down from the shadows of the grand staircase, came a figure that made Adnan's rational mind revolt. She appeared human at first glance, tall, graceful, wearing what looked like an elegant black dress from another era. But as she stepped into his flashlight beam, the illusion shattered. Her ears were pointed and feline, tufted with soft fur. Golden eyes with vertical pupils regarded him with predatory interest. When she smiled, he caught the glint of sharp canines. Her movements were too fluid, too controlled, like a cat sizing up cornered prey. "You thought this house was empty," she said, her voice carrying an odd harmonic quality. "How presumptuous of your species." "My species?" Adnan backed against the locked door, his mind racing. This had to be some kind of elaborate prank or costume. Had to be. "I am Nehal," she continued, descending the stairs with impossible grace. "And you, human, have entered a dwelling that exists in more dimensions than your limited perception can comprehend." As if to prove her point, the room around them began to shift. The walls stretched impossibly high, the ceiling fading into star-filled darkness. Doorways appeared where none had existed moments before, leading to rooms that defied the mansion's original architecture. "What do you want?" Adnan managed, surprised by the steadiness of his own voice. Nehal tilted her head, studying him. "Your kind fascinates me. So fragile, so short-lived. Yet you explore places you don't understand, driven by curiosity that should terrify you instead." She circled him slowly. "Most species flee when confronted with the unknown. But humans, you take pictures." It was true. Even now, Adnan's hand instinctively moved toward his camera. The anthropologist in him was screaming that this was the discovery of a lifetime, while his survival instincts screamed louder about the very real danger he sensed radiating from this creature. "You're studying us," he realized. "For 3 of your centuries I have observed from this nexus point," Nehal confirmed. "Watching your species stumble through technological adolescence, making the same mistakes as a dozen civilizations before you. Yet," she paused directly in front of him, "you continue to surprise me. How? You should be cowering, begging for mercy. Instead, you're analyzing the situation, aren't you? Planning. Even now, part of your mind is wondering if you could document this encounter, share it with your scientific community." Adnan felt heat rise to his cheeks. She was right. "That is why I chose you, Adnan Kumar." His blood chilled. He'd never told her his name. "You represent what makes your species dangerous to the established order of the galaxy." "Dangerous?" He almost laughed. "We can't even leave our own solar system effectively. Yet." Nehal's eyes gleamed. "But you will. And when you do, you won't stop exploring, will you? You won't be content with safe mapped territories. You'll push into the dark corners, the places others have marked as forbidden. You'll ask questions others are too wise to ask." She gestured, and the walls showed images. Glimpses of vast space stations, alien cities, creatures that defied description. The galactic community maintains order through careful boundaries. Certain knowledge is restricted. Certain territories are forbidden. Most species learn these limits and respect them. But not humans. Humans don't recognize the concept of forbidden territory. Nehal smiled, and this time it held genuine amusement rather than predatory hunger. "It's simultaneously your greatest weakness and your most terrifying strength." The room shifted again, and Adnan found himself in what looked like a cosmic observatory. Stars wheeled overhead and he could see Earth, tiny, blue, vulnerable, hanging in the void. I could keep you here, Nihal said softly. Add you to my collection of specimens. The Galactic Oversight Committee would reward me handsomely for preventing another human from returning to spread their infectious curiosity. But you won't. No. She turned to face him fully. Because I've realized something in my 3 centuries of observation. The galaxy doesn't need more careful, respectful species following predetermined paths. It needs chaos agents. It needs explorers who don't know when to stop. The mansion began to fade around them, reality reasserting itself. The Victorian furniture reappeared. The walls returned to their normal dimensions. You're letting me go? I'm setting you free to do what humans do best, explore the impossible and refuse to accept limitations. Nihal moved to the front door, which swung open at her touch. Beyond, Adnan could see his car parked on the overgrown driveway, exactly where he'd left it. Will I see you again? He asked. Perhaps. When your species finally reaches the stars, remember this conversation. Remember that not all guardians are trying to contain you. She paused at the threshold. Some of us are betting on you to reshape the galaxy itself. As Adnan stepped outside, he turned back for one last look. The mansion stood empty and derelict, exactly as it had when he'd arrived. No signs of the impossible rooms, the stellar observatory, or the Catwoman who had fundamentally changed his understanding of humanity's place in the universe. But in his camera's memory card, among the photos of Victorian architecture, was a single image that shouldn't exist, a picture of Earth from space, with golden feline eyes reflected in its blue surface, and a note written in flowing script. The galaxy is waiting. Adnan Kumar. Don't keep it waiting too long. He looked up at the stars, no longer content to explore just the mysteries of Earth. Somewhere up there, the universe was full of impossible things waiting to be discovered by the one species, too stubborn to know when they were out of their depth, and for the first time Adnan understood that might be exactly what the galaxy needed.